do this. I'll do this. Is that okay for you? I mean, for you, or sorry.
No, it's good.
Okay, thanks. How long? I mean, I'm just like, it's like 45 or 50 minutes, 45 minutes? No, I won't endure it. I mean, essentially, what do you really say about something like this? They're butts. They're Galveston. They're butts made out of sand, ultimately. And that was the original idea. I wanted to make a butt out of sand. But what started to happen was I started to make them more and more and more. And then for this exhibition, I wanted to make 40 of them, which is insane. And then I started to, come down here, gather sand from different parts of Galveston, mainly from the west end. We're talking like public access, like 1314 Jamaica Beach kind of area that way. And I was dealing with kind of the physicality of them and laying them down and spraying them with like a mixture of water and matte medium, and then laying down sand. And what I started to realize is Galveston sand is insanely powdery. It's incredibly fine, like this, like almost this. Basically, what would happen is I would put down a surface of this binder, and then it would only really cover, when I put the sand over it, it would really only cover a very small amount. So we're talking like 15 to 20 layers of this stuff. And then it started to build up a topography. It started to kind of different kinds of mixtures of moisture. You'll see in something like that. It has a lot more moisture in the sand than something like that. Oh, that's a really good one, huh? And then, and then I started to kind of come in far more contact with the actual physical material, and then I realized, oh, wait a second, there's something to this. Now, what that is, I don't know. We're not there yet, but they're far more than just butts now. They're these objects that are, I don't know, they are Galveston in many ways because they are awkward, or they're butts, but they're not anyone's butt. They're just from my mind. So they're an amalgamation of my memory of people and their butts, I suppose. And Dennis made a very good point in something I'd never considered, but the fact that they're truncated and cut off really resembles this classic, thank you, antiquity, Roman and Greek statues that have been cut off in different aspects. So I don't know how that relates, but we can continue to talk about it because this is such a relatively new thing. By the way, I don't mind it. I don't want to become the butt guy, but if I become the butt guy, just know that I do make other things, and I'm interested in other things and deeper meanings of things. But for now, it's butts, and I think they have plenty of meaning. So there you go. Thank you very much.
So, and also to Liz and Cody for your work, and it's been nice to share the space with both of you. So a little bit so I did this mural obviously here on site, came in on Wednesday, started Wednesday, finished late Thursday. And when Dennis first approached me about the show, we were kind of just talking about that awkwardness of being like almost like a teenager at the beach, and that older, and as you get older it changes, but there's always that little like awkward element to it. And so a lot of this work is about not only your body, but the landscape, like the fence pieces, just like the push and pull of sand, like an embrace, all of these things that kind of relate to, just like being on a landscape, being a horizontal body, becoming one with it. So that's a lot of what I was thinking about when I was making the work. And so these two relief pieces, those are new to me. I've never done anything like it, but it was nice to see Cody's work because I feel like there's like some commonality there with the way the work was made. I didn't use Galveston sand, which I'm grateful that I didn't because it sounds difficult, but I did use like a sand mixture for that with paint and paper mache underneath. But yeah, the work is kind of just about tenderness and quiet moments and sharing space and overlap of bodies and landscape. And yeah, I don't really have much else, but
That's fine.
yeah, if you guys have questions of that, I'm happy to answer those. So thanks so much. Thank you.
So much for being here, and a big thank you to Dennis. We worked together about 10 years ago, and it's such an honor to work with you again. And thank you to Teresa and Bill and also Jonathan Hobson, who came all the way here to bring some material for me to work with. Yeah, so I was really excited when Dennis asked me to be a part of this exhibition. I was really interested in the concept of beach bodies. It conjured a lot of different ideas, like the awkwardness of having a body, our relationship to the sun, the transformative nature of the ocean, and a lot of different things. So I'm dealing with the body in a figurative way, but a figurative way that is dealing with materials. So you're not seeing necessarily the figure, but I'm dealing with the body in terms of materials that we absorb and translate in different ways. So one material that I was really interested in working with is self-tanner. And so these pieces here are made with by rubbing self-tanner onto something called plank paper, which is kind of like a plastic. And then I made rubbings on top of those with graphite items related to the body in various different ways. So like thinking about the act of rubbing. And then I made this piece over here also with self-tanner. It's kind of self-tanning spray and gouache, and it's on inkjet photographic paper. And I started getting really interested in how this relates to photography in a strange way. So self-tanner is like about the absence of light. And so I actually made those two black works over there. They're photograms that I made in the darkroom. And essentially, it's using self-tanner. I saturated my hair with self-tanner and then put that onto the paper and made prints. And so the darkroom is a kind of about an absence of light, and so is the self-tanner. And I was doing the act of what's called a wet hair flip, which is like, you often see like people with long hair in the ocean, like putting their hair in the ocean and flipping it back. But that was the action that I was making while I was making the photograms. So other materials that I'm working with that are related to the body in various different ways. This video here I made on a train, and it's actually footage of my computer screen, and I was noticing how my fingerprints were sort of blurring and distorting the image, and thinking about, you know, all the different things that we wear, the body oils, sunscreen, and things like that, and kind of the messiness of the body. And you'll see what comes on here is a perfume ad by Burberry. It's called Hero, and it's Adam Driver running down the ocean. And as soon as he hits the ocean, he turns into a centaur, which is kind of a bizarre act. But I was thinking about how we have this like historical idea of the ocean as being transformative, and also the fingerprints maybe as communicating this idea of desire in a way too. So that's that piece. I also made this piece over here called Jacuzzi, and essentially it's a found video of, it was a store that was demonstrating the functions of a jacuzzi, but there's no one inside of it to enjoy the luxury of a jacuzzi. And finally, we have these pieces here on the floor. These are pieces that I've been kind of making over the years, and I'm working with kitty litter and mud and teeth and all sorts of different things. Some of them are covered with images from National Geographics, and I like that Dennis was talking about some of these as relating to sand drizzle sculptures. They have that kind of aesthetic, and then I'm not going to bore you with a longer conversation, but I think National Geographic as imagery is really complicated, and I'm interested in that conversation too. So anyway, thank you so much.
That's amazing.